Welcome to my views on news. Another video for you. Tigray government today announced the release of thousands of prisoners of war. Why is Tigray government releasing thousands of Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers and Eritrean soldiers taken prisoner in the second and third rounds of the fighting? What is the reason behind that? Is it because of some settlement behind the scenes agreed by the parties? Or is Tigray in no position to remain in control of Mekelle in coming days? That is why Tigray government is releasing these prisoners of war. We'll try to analyze this important development. Firstly, Tigray TV has confirmed that around more than 9,000 POWs, prisoners of war, have been pardoned by Tigray regional government. If they have been pardoned, obviously they will be released. And the 9,000 include Eritreans and Ethiopians, both ENDF and EDF soldiers. Out of 9,000, around 500 are women. Who will they be handed over to? I think they'll be handed over to some third party. Maybe ICRC can play a role, International Committee of Red Cross. I think last time Tigray government handed over prisoners to a third party, prisoners of war. So once again, I think they'll be handed over to a third party. But last time when Tigray government released prisoners of war, Ethiopian government refused to acknowledge. Back then, Obasanjo had proposed that Tigray government should release prisoners of war as a confidence building measure, as a goodwill gesture. Tigray regional government released prisoners of war, POWs, ENDF members, but Ethiopian federal government back then had said that those were not ENDF members, those were family members of ENDF soldiers. So once again, Tigray has made a move. It has released thousands of prisoners of war, or it has pardoned the soldiers who will be released definitely. Now, question is, what is the reason behind this decision? Firstly, I think it's a master stroke from Tigray regional government before the start of talks on Monday. Tigray regional representatives and Ethiopian representatives are due to meet in South Africa. Under the auspices of African Union, talks are due to be held. So Tigray, before the start of talks, is sending a message that it is ready for peace. It is announcing a confidence building measure, a goodwill gesture. It will lead to pressure upon Ethiopian government. International community will put more pressure upon Ethiopian federal government to agree to immediate cessation of hostilities, because Tigray is now showing this gesture of goodwill, firstly. Secondly, Tigray forces are losing major towns and cities on daily basis. We are seeing that they lost Sheraro, Etihagre, Edinabrid, Editaro, Shire, Lamata, Vaja, Tamoga, I think Koram as well. There was TDF in Koram, but reportedly ENDF and Amhara forces, they have managed to enter Koram reportedly. So on a daily basis, Tigray forces are losing ground. They lost Slaleka as well reportedly, and now they're eyeing Aksom. They have managed to reach close to Aksom. If in coming days ENDF and EDF manage to reach Mekelle, Tigray's capital, what will Tigray regional government do? Will it be in a position to keep these POWs in their custody? How will they take along the thousands of POWs to Tambian to central Tigray. So if ENDF and EDF somehow managed to reach Mekelle, these POWs would be automatically released. Before that, Tigray regional government has released them. So it's a goodwill message. It's a confidence building measure. At the same time, obviously, Tigray government is in a difficult position. It cannot feed thousands of ENDF soldiers, EDF soldiers, maybe some Amhara special force members as well. Tigray needs food for its people, for its forces, especially when its forces are coming under pressure. How can it keep on feeding, keep on taking care of thousands of POWs? So it had to release. But overall, it's a very positive development. Tigray regional government has played a master stroke. Again, I'm saying it will lead to pressure upon Ethiopian federal government. It will be interesting to see the response of Ethiopian federal government. Is it going to acknowledge this commendable move made by Tigray regional government? Or is it going to reject this move as a sign of defeat of Tigray forces? These POWs were definitely suffering. They were in custody. We don't know in which condition they were being kept. At least they are being freed. So that is why it should be appreciated. Ethiopian government should also reciprocate this release of ENDF POWs by announcing some confidence building measures. How will peace come, viewers? Peace will only come through these goodwill gestures, through these confidence building measures, through talks, through engagement at the table. If the two parties keep on bragging about their strength, their ability to fight, war will never come to a close. So that is why I personally see this move from Tigray government as a very positive step. Maybe Tigray government is in touch with mediators, and like last time Obasanjo proposed release of prisoners of war, this time as well there might be some discussion between Tigray regional government and mediators. That is why Tigray government announced the release of these prisoners of war. One point which I want to make is that pro-government supporters should put some sort of pressure upon Ethiopian federal government that talks should be attended seriously. Otherwise, if pro-government supporters believe that the war is going to come to an end in coming days, no, the war isn't going to come to a close in coming days. Mekelle can fall. Shire to Axom, Shire already fall. Axom, war will not come to a close. Fall of towns does not mean that war is going to end. War will end at the table. Tigray is under pressure. Tigray forces are ready to make some concessions. They are ready to start talks without any precondition, without assumption of basic services in Tigray. They have lost ground. It is the time for Ethiopian government to capitalize on these battlefield gains at the table. Ethiopian government should capitalize their battlefield gains at the table. If the government thinks that it can sweep across Tigray, it should intensify the operation, military operation in Tigray, that it should disarm TPLF, that it should dismantle TPLF, it should disarm TDF. Believe me, it won't lead to peace in Ethiopia in Tigray. So that is why pro-government supporters, they should also put pressure, or they should try to send a message to the government that now when the government has a leverage at the table, it should make use of this leverage by going into talks with a constructive and doable proposal. Otherwise, if Ethiopian government says that TDF should be disarmed, TPLF should be dismantled, peace talks will definitely fail on Monday. Tigray has made a move, whether it was under pressure or it was voluntary, it should be appreciated. It should be reciprocated by Ethiopian federal government. We're waiting for official response from Ethiopian federal government. I'll update you once government speaks about Tigray's move of pardoning thousands of ENDF and EDF soldiers. Thank you for watching.